It goes back to the TV show review I did for Daybreak starring Taye Diggs. For every choice there is a consequence. And for this, and why I bring it up, the consequence is The Condemned from 2007, which ran 1 hour 53 minutes. There are not a lot of high quality, good graphics to use for this movie review. I say that because I made the choice to review this WWE Studios film from 18 years ago, and that's the consequence. Whereas, if I'd have chosen to review, let's say, Snow White in theaters, I guarantee I'd be able to find all kinds of high quality pictures to put with it. But, that means going to theaters, watching a thing I don't want to watch anyway, and dealing with the said consequences of that choice. So, after the open rolls, I will talk about the Stone Cold Steve Austin starring film, The Condemned. The first note I take is that huge prisoner. Is that Nathan Jones? I feel this show producer wanting 100% show awareness. I understand completely, buddy. I want 100% show awareness for Mr. Super Oz. I want 100% book awareness for BC Brute. I want 100% book awareness for Everlasting Survivors. I understand where you're coming from. His second, I'm going to say his second, his coworker, his employee, the actor Rick Hoffman, who you might know as Louis Litt from the TV show Suits. This crew member, his character is Goldman, or they call him Goldie. He is one of the most fun, and he always is, the actor, is always one of the most fun people throughout this, but also every time I see him, he's just good to have around. And I'm glad he's on the production crew for the internet streaming show, The Condemned. I forgot about the world building, all the convict recruiting, because it's been a long time since I watched this movie. And basically all I recalled was the island fighting and Steve Austin being one of the most entertaining humans on the planet, because, let's be real, that's always been one of his fortes, is being the coolest guy in the room. The prisoners being rigged with explosives is so Suicide Squad. 28 minutes in and 2 convicts dead. One fell onto a spike as all the prisoners were being thrown out of a helicopter, and then a chick blows up a huge guy by pulling the, I'm going to say, safety pin for lack of facts, on his ankle bomb. In 2 years, the concept of cons going at it for fun/sport will be taken up a notch with the movie Gamer starring Gerard Butler, and a very sci-fi version of this exact, or almost exact idea, where kids and, people in general get to play almost a live action video game where the players are real people. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting that within such close proximity you had prisoners being used for sport. Nathan Jones versus Stone Cold is so much fun in this movie, whereas I could guarantee you that if this match had happened in the WWE, it would not have been as well executed, just because Nathan Jones was far superior, or is far superior as an actor over being a wrestler. I'm not sure that Stone Cold's backstory was really needed. I guess it's good that he is good, but by comparison, he already seemed better than most of the other people in the competition. Vinnie Jones is very twisted in this, and he's so great at making you believe that he's just got a screw loose. Goldie is one of the most believable with everything that he says and does. Manu Bennett, who plays Paco, is also from the Marine, so he has connections to multiple Doty Studio films. He agrees to team up with Stone Cold or Jack Conrad. I do find it interesting how the show producers seem like bigger bads than almost all of the killer villains that they have recruited to fight here on this island. Thank you for being here at Mr. Super Oz. This video is going out, and this channel only exists because I, Oz, founded Gamble Comics, which first release was Everlasting Survivors, a 68-page graphic novel called All Day Long. Available now. Follow the link in the description that will take you to gamblecomics.com. While there you can get hats, shirts, posters, much more, but most importantly, the story itself. Coming soon from Gamble Comics, BC Brute. The show's primary producer is such a hypocrite, saying how this is true reality while also giving weapons to these villainous folk. Goldie figures out Jack is coming where they are, and he is not happy about it. Jack puts a gate guard to sleep, and he is now in the production area. Steve falling flat on his back after jumping out of a watchtower is classic. Goldie is the MVP of the production crew. Rick Hoffman is such a great actor. Vinnie Jones versus Manu Bennett while Steve watches on. Terrible stuff. Jones thinks that he and Austin are the same, whereas Steve knows that he has not gone off the deep end like Jones's character. Seeing Jack's lady and her friends watching on from a bar, yes, it does show the emotional investment of others, but I'm still not convinced that we really needed all of the off-island stuff. All of the primary tension comes from Vinnie Jones and Steve Austin, so I'm not really sure. Like, even when we have like reporters and people, no matter who's talking that's not on the island, I'm just like, I'm not sure I need you. The camera work is not very smooth, as they think they are shooting reality, so they got to keep it rough and hard to follow. Whereas anytime they're inside the production area, it's very steady. And so I get the choice that they made, but I'm not sure that I'm for that choice. We definitely could have shaved at least, 10, 15 minutes, maybe more off if we'd have just stayed with the island fighting and the production area and not done any of the off-island shenanigans. Goldie calling out his boss about helping that maniac Vinnie Jones this whole time was very good and accurate, because of course they think that Vinnie Jones won because he gave him a gun and a knife and food and water and all this stuff when everybody else was going without. The person who planned the show, he says he puts on a good show, which I thought was a funny reasoning behind why you would choose to help this killer, this madman, this nutcase. Navy SEALs are coming, and Goldie is going to warn everyone until he gets killed by a dude who was clearly brought here as the main producer of the show's backup. If not backup, then his insurance policy, because the guy always had just a touch of questionable motives. Vinnie Jones gets his bomb disarmed. He now wants his money. The game was always rigged, just like Goldie had said. Hey, look at that. Jack Conrad, or Jack, whatever his real name is, Stone Cold, is not dead. Vinnie is now taking out the production team one by one. Sounds like you had a hard life. Good thing it's over, Steve says to Vinnie Jones as he takes him out for the final time. Obviously, Stone Cold Steve Austin has always been good at the one-liners and just perfect delivery at the right time. The movie itself, yeah, it was good. The good outweighs the bad, and that's what it gets, is a good 4 out of 5 stars. The finish is clean and very much what the show creator deserved when Vinnie Jones's disarmed bomb gets reactivated, thrown into his helicopter, and it gets blown up. I think he'd have liked that if it wasn't himself being blown up, because that's just the kind of thing that he was into. Austin being back in Texas and with his lady rocks. I guess that was what made all of the off-island stuff matter.